Okay, the next area that we're going to talk about and try to differentiate for you is various kinds of relationships that we have with our clients and customers. And the first one is transaction brokerage facilitator intermediary. In this situation, you just simply act to facilitate the transaction. You're not representing either party, and you cannot represent one party to the detriment of the other. Occasionally, very occasionally, and this is permitted in Michigan currently, there are situations where, let's say you've been talking to a private seller for some time and they bring you a buyer and they're both excited and they just want to get the deal done, and they offer you a certain amount of money to make that happen. If it's appropriate in your state, you can function as a transaction broker and simply make that happen. Obviously, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think are some pluses and minuses of these various relationships. The next one I want to mention to you is single agency versus transaction brokerage. And in this particular situation, you have to deal, in both cases, single agency or a transaction broker, you have to deal with everybody honestly and fairly. In the single agency, you're loyal to one party. In the transaction brokerage, not loyal to either party. In the single agency, it's confidentiality does apply, of course, but on the transaction brokerage side, it's limited confidentiality. You're back to talking about price, motivation, financing terms, etc. Anything that's requested to be confidential has to remain confidential from the other party. As far as obedience goes, on the single agent, you have to do what they tell you to do, period. In transaction brokerage, you don't really have a responsibility other than simply following the directions of the customer. Presenting all offers in a timely manner in both cases. Advice and opinions, this is a differentiation. Advice and opinions dealing with material facts. You can educate the client in single agency on pricing. You can help them with anything and everything. Of course, you have the confidentiality, responsibility, etc. On the transaction brokerage side, you can disclose all known facts that potentially affect the value of the property. You not only can, you have to do that by law. You have to account for all funds on both sides and, of course, have skill, care, and diligence on both sides of the transaction. Basically, what we're really doing is saying this is the level playing field. Don't lie, cheat, or steal. Treat everybody fairly. Be open and honest with your communications. But there are additional responsibilities when you're in a single agency situation regarding confidentiality and obedience and a couple of other items. It's very important to know the difference. It's very important to behave according to your declared agency.